You do not need a big team to run a 6-figure or even 7-figure business. I run a 7-figure agency and we have just 8 people in our team. And when I'm running my freelance business, it's just me and some mad systems. So if you're feeling the pressure to grow because that's what everyone else says you're supposed to do, then this video is for you. Because sometimes more people equals just more headaches. So I'm going to show you how you can grow to become a 6 or 7-figure business without having a crazy big team. There's this ridiculous narrative in entrepreneurship, and it's basically saying that if you're not growing and scaling your business, then you're basically failing. And the moment you hit that magic 10K a month mark, you're supposed to be hiring a VA, a junior social media manager, an email marketer, and someone's cousin who's really good at Canva, whatever. But actually, hiring too early or hiring the wrong people is probably the fastest way you can destroy momentum in your business. And worse still, it's exactly how you can get trapped in a business that you don't even enjoy running. And remember, we all started our business because we're supposed to love what we do. And trust me, this is exactly what happened to me, so it totally can happen. So before you feel the absolute urge to go build your business, stay tuned because I'm going to tell you how you can build a 6 or 7-figure agency without the need to grow a giant team. I'm obsessed with systems, and people always ask me why, but I guess systems don't call in sick for starters, that's why. And whenever I speak to other entrepreneurs about their systems, they're always like, but I'm super organized. And I'm like, okay, so tell me how. They're like, I've got this planner, I've got like a color-coded calendar, and I've got like a Notion board. I might not have used it for about 3 months, but I've still got a Notion board. I'm like, okay, let's stop for a second. Because being organized is not the same as having systems. And so for me, systems are everything. And it's the differentiating factor between businesses who are stuck and those who are actually able to grow and scale. It all comes down to their systems. So what are systems really? Well, first of all, they're not just tools. They're not like, oh, I've got Monday.com, ClickUp, Asana, so therefore I'm able to run my business because I've got systems. No, they're not just tools. Systems are the way that your business runs with or without you. Systems are, for example, how your sales come in. They're how projects are managed, how clients are onboarded, how emails don't run your day. These are all coming down to systems. It's basically your entire ops setup, the machine that runs your business. And if you don't build that machine properly, then you're going to burn yourself out trying to run it manually. So the problem is most people completely skip this part. I don't know, perhaps they find it boring, or maybe it's too complicated, or probably most likely they don't actually realize how important it is to have systems. And so instead they just dive straight into doing it all themselves because that's the exciting part of business. And they do this until they get completely overwhelmed, and then they basically panic hire and they get someone to come in and manage their chaos. If you don't have systems, then all you're doing is turning your mess into a full-time job. And then you're basically paying someone to deal with your inefficiency. And that, to me, is the most ridiculous economic decision ever. So if you want to build a business that scales, you need to build your systems before you hire. That's how I've managed to build multiple 6-figure businesses without drowning in admin or burning out, and without the need to have a full-time person in every single position. So I actually do believe in getting help. I'm not saying that you just create these systems and suddenly magically you can do all this work yourself. I actually do believe in strategic delegation in business. I think it works wonders. But I'm saying there's a little bit of a different way to what you might expect me to say. For example, most people, I think, hire the 22-year-old generalist to come in because they think they're good at tech and they know social media, so they can do all those things and suddenly their business will be okay. But the problem is these 22-year-olds have never seen a sales funnel in their life and they have no idea what strategy is. The thing is, you actually need senior people in who know exactly what they're doing and they don't waste time because they have so many years of experience and they look at your business, they know exactly what you need to do and they just get it done. I know you're going to say to me, well, if I could afford to hire senior people, wouldn't I just hire senior people? Duh. Obviously, we are bootstrapping our company, we're still lean, and that's why I can't afford senior people and that's why I go for the juniors. Well, what if I was to tell you that you could actually hire a senior person for the same price of a junior person? You probably think I'm crazy, right? But hear me out. There's now a trend in fractional positions. And what that means is that you can hire a senior person for just 1 day a week for the same price you'd be paying a full-time junior person. But the difference is that senior person working just 1 day a week, they're doing better quality work, they're doing it in a fraction of the time, pun intended, and they're actually providing solutions that a junior never ever would come to. So you're able to scale and grow your business with much better quality work in a faster time and in a much more solid and sustainable way than you ever could by having junior staff. And you can hire fractional anything these days. You can have fractional BDs who can help with sales. You can have fractional COOs who will help with all of your ops and those systems that we talked about. You can have fractional CMOs and strategists. Wink, that's what I do. And they will help you develop your strategies, whether it's brand, marketing, business, general, and all your marketing plans. And they will do this in a fraction of the time that a junior ever could. And if you think about it, whenever you hire cheap, you always end up paying twice in the time, the energy, the mistakes, and the hand-holding that you'll have to do because they're a junior. So I actually made all these mistakes a few years ago. I tried to scale my agency far too quickly. And if you look back at the video I just did on the best business advice I ever received, you'll realize why. But I basically hired too fast, too many people, and the wrong people. All because I felt like I had to, because I thought that if you were growing your business, it was a measure of your success. So I felt the pressure to do this, and it was a nightmare. There were no systems in place, so it all just fell apart. Processes were broken down, mistakes were made, clients were frustrated, and I just felt like I was spending all my time putting out fires and just under the most ridiculous stress ever. There were too many people doing too many things and absolutely no structure holding it all together. It was exhausting, frustrating, and I was this close to burning it all down. So I had to make a really difficult decision and I decided to scale back. I let go of a few staff, I paused a few projects, and I just reset. And I decided to rebuild those systems, get some clarity on what our business actually needed to run smoothly. And you know what? I kind of felt embarrassed about all that for a while. I felt like I'd built up this big thing and I was super successful at some point when I was big. And now I was just shrinking it for no apparent reason. And I felt like a failure. But actually what came out the other side was a stronger business, a more profitable business, and a company that actually fit the lifestyle that I wanted. And you know what? I've even now taken a step back from growing that fast-paced startup that I've been running for the last year or so. And I've decided to take on more freelance work. And the amount of people that have come up to me and be like, oh, what happened? And, you know, things like, wait, so it's just you doing stuff now? Oh, it's a bad thing? And it's kind of crazy because when I look at my freelance side of things, I have way more control, way more freedom, and I'm earning way more money than I ever have done when I was running a big team. Plus, I get to work really closely with people that I actually really enjoy working with. So it makes all the difference. So yeah, I run an agency and I have a great team for that. But I also run a solo business and I think that's equally valid and equally successful. So yeah, I don't think scaling back means that you're failing. It just means you're doing what's right for you. So if you're watching this thinking, I'm not growing fast enough, or I don't have a big team, so maybe I'm just behind everyone, or do you know what, I should just hire someone to get some help because that's what you're supposed to do, I would pause, because hiring the wrong people or hiring too fast is the quickest way that you can actually destroy your business. You don't need more people, you need more clarity. And you need a system that supports the way that you want to work. Because your version of success might just be a lean 6-figure business that helps you fund your lifestyle, rather than this 50-person team that is a chaotic mess, but is big and not profitable at all. So if you're now watching this video trying to figure out whether you should keep going it alone or you should be building a team, then I would do this little exercise, because this is what really helped me when I was trying to decide what I should be doing. I would do these 3 things. I would first document everything that you do for an entire week. Whether you use pen and paper, whether you use Loom or use Notion, I don't mind how you do it, but just document all the tasks that you do in 1 week. Then number 2, go back through those tasks and look which ones only you can do. The ones that are just you, no one else can do those tasks. And then number 3, take the rest of the tasks and work out how you can build a system around those. Whether you want to hire someone for that, fine. And if you're not ready for a team, then great. Maybe actually you could bundle those tasks into one fractional role where you can get a senior person to just bash all those out in just 1 day a week at the top quality. So remember, you don't need a big team to run a brilliant business. You need clarity, systems, and the right people, not more people. That's how I've run my 7-figure business without completely losing my mind. And that's how I help my clients scale sustainably too. So if you feel like you need some help, then please do hit me up. I'm happy to give you some advice, or I'm happy to lead you to some of my freebies that might help you kind of figure out where you need to be and whether you need to hire right now. And if this video has helped you feel seen, then please do hit that like and subscribe button below, because I'm doing a lot more on small teams, big revenues. And if that sounds like you, then I'll see you in the next video.